Kerry Mulholland, welcome to the interview. And you're one of the fabulous True You Hub experts, aren't you?
I am indeed. Thank you for having me.
You're very welcome. And we're going to talk about alcohol and stuff because you are the sobriety and personal growth coach.
I am.
So we'll talk about growing personally in a bit, but let's talk about sobriety. So, to start with, what actually got you into this personally, may I ask?
You can. So, essentially, I was drinking too much. I was not an alcoholic by any stretch, but I was definitely drinking too much, and it was affecting my self-worth, my self-esteem, my mental health, my weight, my life, relationships, everything. So I knew that something had to change. So I'd set myself a challenge of doing a 26-mile hike, and I knew I wouldn't be able to do that if I was still drinking and smoking. So I set myself a challenge of not drinking for a year, and that's how it started. And nearly 4 years later, here I am.
And do you miss it?
No, not at all. I don't even think about it. And now, if I smell it, it makes my stomach go, bleh. Yeah, I just, no, I don't. I can't even, this is the terrible downfall of it, is I can't even eat rum and raisin ice cream anymore because I don't like the taste of it.
Oh dear. And did you give up smoking at the same time, exactly the same time as giving up alcohol?
It was probably a few months later. So for me, alcohol and cigarette smoking go together, or they did go together for me. So if I had a drink, I had a cigarette. So once I stopped drinking, it was probably about 3 months after I'd stopped drinking that I stopped smoking.
Yeah.
And I've actually found the smoking a lot harder than the alcohol.
Do you think it's more addictive than alcohol, smoking?
I don't know. I think everything's just a habit, and it's about breaking that cycle of the habit to break the addiction, I suppose. But I guess it's how individuals view. There'll be people out there who drink and don't smoke, but one of those lucky people who did both.
That's me. I don't smoke. I used to, and I gave up. I can tell you when I gave up. I gave up 24 years ago, almost exactly.
Wow. And do you miss it?
No, not at all. No. But I still have a glass of wine or three every now and again, but a lot less, funny enough. I think my age has stopped me drinking so much. Can that happen naturally as you get older? Can you sort of naturally not enjoy alcohol so much?
I think it depends on the mindset and where you are. So I think it depends also how much you're drinking. So drinking from a lot of people out there, not everybody, but a lot of people, it just becomes a habit. It becomes the wind down at the end of the day. It becomes the stressful day, drink. I've had a great day, drink. I'm celebrating something, drink. I'm sad, drink. And it becomes a habit. But I do, if I look at my own dad, who's also gone alcohol free since I've gone alcohol free, I never thought in a million years he'd be alcohol free, because he would drink a lot every day, and especially since he retired as well, like retiring and then having not much to do, the drinking, he was in holiday mode all of the time. So people now see him and go, you're not drinking, you always drink. Go on, you can have one, and he just doesn't want one. But he's like in his early 70s, so maybe it does that idea of you need drink to do certain activities, is perhaps that goes out the window.
Yeah, maybe your body can't take it so much. It's had enough. After years of lots of alcohol. Did you find that when you gave up, that you needed to replace it with something else? I mean, you mentioned that a lot of people, me included, at the end of a stressful day will just go and pour themselves a glass of wine or something. When you don't do that, did you need to replace it with something else?
So I do on occasions have alcohol-free beers or alcohol-free substitutes of some sort, and not really because I've had a good day or a bad day, but just because I fancy one. So I think it's stopping the alcohol drinking takes away the link between having a bad day and having a drink. So now I'd rather go. So I've replaced that drink with either alcohol-free, but what I've replaced it with most of all is going for a walk, getting out, doing some exercise, and actually that really does make me feel better. But yeah, but also within the first few months when you do stop drinking, your body kind of craves the sugar that you're missing from the alcohol. So I would definitely say for at least the first couple of months afterwards, I replace them with giant chocolate buttons. So, and then since then I've really cut down on my sugar. That was another adventure that I'm now on. So yeah, chocolate buttons is the way forward for some for a while.
So you cut out the alcohol, but you gave yourself another problem by being addicted to chocolate buttons.
It was just the craving takes over you, and your body's craving that sweet stuff. But I just focus on the fact that as long as I'm not drinking alcohol, then I can deal with the chocolate buttons later. So, and I did, and you get on top of it eventually in the end. And now my sugar intake is actually really low now, because I've been focused on it for the last few months, and that has also made quite a difference.
Yeah. What are the main problems caused by drinking alcohol, do you find, when you talk to people?
I guess from the people that I know, there's a lot of alcohol-free people out there that I'm now friends with since doing this. I would say the biggest the sort of medical or health issue it causes is poor mental health. I don't think you don't really realise what a fog you're in until you take off the sort of cloak of the alcohol, and then you experience life in such a better way. My anxiety is much better. I don't suffer with depression anymore. It doesn't totally remove it, so I will still have periods of time where I might be feeling anxious, etc. But it gives you a clearer mind to deal with the massive things. Life comes along and smacks you in the face when you least expect it. But alcohol, so life smacking you in the face doesn't change, but the way you cope with it changes. So you're able to have much more clarity over the decisions that you make and how you choose to move forward. Your emotions are much more balanced when you're not drinking alcohol. So that again, it improves the whole mental health situation. But also I think, from lots of people that I speak to now, people just don't know what else to do. Well, if I don't drink, what am I going to do? And for me, I was like, not drink, oh my God, it would be so boring. And I don't even know what else will I do with my time. But you fill it with much more fulfilling things, and meeting different people. You just get a whole new life, and you don't lose the old ones so much, but there will be certain relationships that you let go of because they're not serving you.
I have to say that everybody that I know that's given up alcohol feels so much better for doing so.
The sleep is incredible. So sleep, again, for the first few weeks, sleep can elude you because your body is not used to going to bed without any alcohol in it. But after maybe 3 or 4 weeks, that the sleep's so much better. Mental health, just not waking up and feeling like absolute rubbish. Being able to have clarity and focus, and like my work is much improved, my productivity is improved, my health is improved, my fitness is improved. It's like when you list everything, it's a no-brainer. It's an absolute no-brainer just to remove it from your life.
Do you think that people should quit totally, or is it okay to cut down?
Yeah, I don't judge anyone if they want to have a drink. If you want to drink, you crack on. If you can be one of those people who can moderate their intake, go for it. I'm just not one of them. I don't know how people do it, because if the bottle of wine was open, the bottle of wine was gone. So if you can restrict your drinking, even to not drink for 2 days a week, that will also give you some benefits. and allows your body to fix itself within for 48 hours. But I would say you should have periods of time within the week where you're not drinking alcohol, if possible. But yeah, it's individual choice, and I never judge anyone if they want to carry on drinking or if they want to cut down or if they want to give up altogether. Then that's definitely something I like to support people with. But for me,
so 2 days alcohol free is a good idea every week, is it?
It is 2 consecutive days.
Yeah.
So if your goal is to change your relationship with alcohol, that's a really good place to start. So if giving up altogether just seems completely alien and something that you can't do, then just go for the smaller two consecutive days together, and maybe just note down how you're feeling after those 2 days. But yeah, it's scientifically proven that your liver sort of fixes itself in 48 hours with no alcohol in the system. But yeah, start small, build up if that's what floats your boat.
How about somebody might not drink during the week but have a massive drinking binge all Saturday and Sunday at the weekend?
Yeah.
Presumably that's not very good for you.
Well, no, binging on anything, chocolate buttons or alcohol, either way isn't good for you. And actually, it's the binge drinking or binge drinkers that can often find that their health deteriorates because their body goes from 0 to hundreds of units in the space of 24 hours or whatever. So it can, even if you abstain all week and then you abuse your body at the weekend with all the alcohol, that can impact your liver as much as having one drink every day can, because you're binge drinking.
Okay, so as one of the True Hub experts and also obviously running your own practice, how can you help people, presumably online, to cut down? What do you do? How do you advise people, or how do you treat them?
Okay, so my coaching is all very much focused on positive psychology. So we talk about what's happening today and moving forwards. So I don't unpick your family history or your past. We very much talk about what that person's goal is, and we talk about the reality of their situation at the moment. So where are you now with this situation? And then through my coaching techniques, we'll explore areas or topics of conversation, or maybe something they've not really given any consideration to, in order to move things forwards. Everything is very much led by the client. I don't give anyone advice. That's not my job to do that. It's about helping and facilitating that person to find their own particular way forward and what good looks like for them. So the 2 consecutive days together for one person might feel like a mountain to climb. So we very much focus on that. And no way would I be pushing those people to sort of go forward and give up alcohol completely straight away, because it won't work. No. So it's very much client-led, and it's all done on an individual basis. There's no one size fits all. It's about what's right for that person.
Sure. Okay, and obviously you can find out by asking them certain questions to find out how best you can help them. Tell me about the personal growth side of things. Is that related to the giving up of alcohol?
It is, in my experience, yes. So once you reduce or remove the alcohol from your life, then, as I was saying, so what else do I do? And when people get over the initial phases of removing alcohol from their life, they do start to look at other challenges. They might even be in a relationship that they think, why am I here? What am I doing this for? Or if they're in a job situation, or they want to have some goals with nutrition or sleep or connection or any of those things. So I look at seven key areas within my coaching. Because all of them help your personal growth. Once you change one of them, they will all kind of follow suit. So removing the alcohol is the biggie, but it's also the last one that people always come to, which is, I don't mind giving up my cake and my cheese, but don't take away my vodka. So alcohol is very much, even if somebody doesn't want to give up alcohol, my personal growth coaching is absolutely fine, but we will have a conversation around alcohol at some point as part of that process.
Well, it may be that there's the problems elsewhere in people's lives are causing them to turn to alcohol.
Exactly. And also, if there are problems in people's lives, they also drink to bury their head in the sand and make it hope that it goes away, but it doesn't. And I think that's what removing the alcohol does. It helps you see your life for really what it is. And are you really, you get one life, you've got to live it and be passionate about what you're doing. And if you find that you're just stuck in a rut, which a lot of people are, removing the alcohol can help you, just even for like a short period, like 3 months or something like that, can help you really see your real position and where you really are. And that's when you start your personal growth, because you'll start doing things that you've never done before and meeting people you've never met before and thinking, what do I really want to do with my life? Which is exactly what happened to me. So yeah, it's definitely part of the journey for sure.
Fantastic. What would you say to somebody watching this or listening to this who thinks, well, I don't really know whether I have an alcohol problem and I don't know whether I need your help, but I like a drink or two or three. What would you say to somebody, especially a woman, obviously, on the True You Hub watching this?
I would say drop me a message, get in touch with me, and we can have a free consultation where we can talk about what it is that you want or need. And we take it from there. And if I feel that maybe the alcohol consumption of that person is not something I can support them with, I will always signpost. If it's outside of the realms of my sort of coaching techniques, I will always signpost and get them the appropriate support. But I'll just say, what have you got to lose? You've got a free consultation for an hour. Come and talk to me, we'll talk through it. And if at the end of that they think, oh, I want to see how it goes, they could have a couple of sessions and they could tick off a list of the things that they wanted to do, and that's great, that's fine. For some people, they might want many more sessions to talk about many, many different things. So yeah, say what you've got nothing to lose, so just why not drop me a line, let's talk about it.
Yeah, well, everybody's different as well, aren't they, with different problems and different aspects of their life and different amounts of alcohol and all sorts. Everybody's different.
Yeah, I mean, I never thought, I was a proper party girl. I was drinking every day. I was like I was going to say living my best life, but it really wasn't. It was living my drunken life. So if I can give up alcohol, honestly, anybody can. It's life changing. It can be life changing if you want it to be, but you're going to have to want to do it. Otherwise, you'll just fail, and then that'll make you feel awful. So you have to mentally be in the place where you're ready for that challenge, even if it is for a month or 3 months or 6 months or whatever it might be. So yeah.
Kerry, fantastic advice as usual. I'm going to go and put the kettle on now and have a nice cup of tea.
Good for you.
Thanks very much for talking to me. It's been a brilliant chat, and you take care. Talk again soon. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. Cheers.